Hey everyone, welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioner meeting. Today's Thursday, February 20th. It's 10 a.m. regular board session. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for putting us here. Thank you for Seneca County, for Ohio, for the United States. We ask that you look over this meeting, bless the citizens of our county. It's cold out there, slippery. We ask that you comfort those that need safety with the schools, buses, and kids, and just everything. We're so grateful that we can be part of Seneca County. Amen. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Frankert,
Here.
Commissioner Bustecker,
Here. Okay, at this time, I'll accept a motion to approve the digital audio recordings of the previous board session from Tuesday, February 18th, 2025.
I'll second.
Okay?
Commissioner Bustecker,
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. All right, jumping into our agenda. First on the list, we have a bid opening. There's a lot there to read, so I'll turn it over to you, Barb.
Okay.
Please.
This is for the superstructure replacement pre-stressed box beams for County Road 60, Township Road 102, Township Road 112, and Township Road 119 for the engineer's office. The engineer's estimate is $352,600, and I have 4 bids.
Okay.
The first bid is from the Crawford Construction Company. Sorry, gotta look through a couple pieces of information. Make sure. Their bid is $316,309.94. I have from this looks like R&I Construction. Their total bid is $321,281. This is for Great Lakes Demolition Company. Their bid is $317,550. And the last one that I have is from Haynes Excavating. And this bid is for $373,500.
Okay, so
These will go to the engineer's office for his approval. He will check them over and then get back to us on who he is awarding the bid to.
Okay, any comments from anybody?
No,
You good?
I'll go through it.
Alrighty. Next on the agenda, we have the Mental Health and Recovery Services Update Annual Report. And Mirsha Handru, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. I do have a folder for each commissioner, and I do have one for you, Barb, as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. How many counties have you been to?
Today, I've been to Wyandotte County and earlier today.
Already?
Already
You meet
today,
early.
huh?
Those
Yeah.
guys down there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
4 meetings, you have to do this 4 times.
Yeah, I went to Sandusky County earlier this week, Tuesday, I believe, and going to Wyandotte County in early March,
Okay.
to Ottawa County, yes. Sage, I give you one as well.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it.
Excellent. Okay, so again, thank you for having me, Mircea Handru with the Mental Health Recovery Service Board. I do wanted to present our fiscal year 2024 annual report. This is for the period of July 1, 2023 to June 30th of 2024. We're in the middle of fiscal year 2025 at the moment. Through the report, really our goal is we always try to better our report and what we present to the public and to you guys as county commissioners. One of the things that we really try to focus on is transparency when it comes to our finances and what we do and some of the programming. We also provided in our report, in addition to finances, we provided information about some of the programs that we highlighted, that maybe we did some changes or enhancement this last fiscal year. We also listed in the annual report all the schools that we fund in our 4 counties. So on page 11, you have specific Seneca County schools that we fund, the amount that we fund, and a little bit about the services they provide or how they utilize the funds. We also have a capital report that we decided to include, again, just for public transparency, and this will continue to be included every year, with all the homes that we own or lease to operate for either mental health or addiction services in the board district, and the expenses related to that. On the pages to continue, we actually have from every home, how much we collected from the residents, how much money we put in as a board, and maybe how much money were collected from other subsidies. We have outcomes about every home, whether it's a recovery house or a mental health home. We have how many individuals were in each home, how many were successfully discharged versus what we call neutral discharge or unsuccessful discharge. So when somebody leaves one of our homes, they should fit in one of the 3 categories. Okay. You also have the breakdown by women or men and what each facility is used for. I skipped, and I'm not going to go to every page, but the information is there. But we have some information that's very important, I think, about our mobile crisis response team and how many calls they receive. They receive a total number of calls of 971 calls last year that our mobile crisis response team served. And how many were crisis calls versus other follow-ups, how many individuals we hospitalized. We hospitalized 88 just by our mobile crisis response team last fiscal year. 76% of them were voluntarily, and 23.9 were not voluntarily. It was involuntarily commitment to a hospital. So we have that information there as well, and I can answer questions. We do have some other information that, so I said we have the recovery homes, we also have the mental health group homes, but then we have the end of our report, we have fatality data when it comes to number of suicide deaths as well as number of overdose deaths. That data is though for calendar year 2023. And the reason is for calendar year 2023 and not 2024, because we don't have 2024 final numbers yet. A county coroner with Ohio Department of Health, usually they have 6 months after the death to complete the death certificate, especially if the person has to go to an autopsy or toxicology results or further investigation. So if a death occurred in Seneca County in November or December, we might not get the report until April, May, or June. Okay, so we don't have 24 numbers, but we have 2023 numbers. So when it comes to suicide deaths in 2023, Seneca County had 6 suicide deaths, which was a slight reduction from the year prior, which is good. And it's actually the lowest county for suicide deaths in our board district and in below Ohio as well. So per 100,000, Seneca County was a 10.9. So for us to be kind of fair, when we look at all of our counties, we calculate what is their death per 100,000 people. You know, because Wyandotte County is 22,000. versus Seneca County being in high 50s, correct? So, but even when you look at per 100,000, Seneca County was the lowest county with number of deaths. However, when you look at overdose deaths, unfortunately, we were skyrocketing, and we were much higher than the other three counties, and almost at the same level with Ohio. So we had 36.3 if you calculate per 100,000, but actual overdose deaths, Seneca County had 20. The last 4 years were pretty high in Seneca County, and when you look, especially the population of Seneca County, and when you look at comparison with the other counties, we had 20 overdose deaths. It was just a high increase since the pandemic, and we never really got it under control still. 2020 was our highest with 26 deaths, 2021 20, 2022 18, and 2023 20. We also have a breakdown on the following pages when it comes to suicide about we split between male and female. We also split it by method that was used and also by age group. Suicide data, and I said this to the Wyandotte County Commissioner today, when I came in my role, was always the highest or the most at-risk group was 55 and older males. That just kind of, that was historically what was the highest or at most risk group in our community. Unfortunately, now we see 19 to 34 is the group that is completing the most suicides. So it's a little disturbing there. So we can see younger and younger individuals. We also see an increase in women suicide, which we didn't used to have. This actually last year wasn't quite as bad as the years prior. Majority of the individuals, we even collect that and try to follow up. Majority of the individuals who complete suicides are actually married, because we try to collect that data to see if we see a trend. When it comes to overdose deaths, it's almost a fairly split between male and female. When it comes to overdose deaths, fentanyl is the #1 cause of illicit drug that we found after the toxicology results was fentanyl in the system. And the age breakdown, 35 to 50, sorry, was the highest group of overdose deaths in 2023. And majority of those individuals who died by overdose were never married. So we try to collect the data if they were widowed, divorced, married, no married, and some we have unknown because we just can't call it, we just don't know that information. We have this data, I'm presenting 2023 now, but we have this going back 10 years. So approximately going back 10, 12 years, we have it also. We try to look at trends every year and try to, we even try to create a map with what we call hotspots to see if with other counties or even with Seneca County Drug Task Forces in the past, if there's areas that maybe we need to focus more on education or prevention. We tried it a little bit in Sandusky County and worked pretty well with their drug task force, so we can kind of see maybe which areas of the counties or areas of the city most overdose occur. So a community effort is not just by the mental health board. Law enforcement has been a true partner here in Seneca County, both City of Astoria and Tiffany, as well as the Sheriff's Office and the Drug Task Force. The judges are really trying to plug along as well with their PV program and everything we do. We really try to enhance our recovery homes. I'm happy to say that we are going to open in the next 30 days. It's ready for renovation. 5 additional male recovery homes here in Tiffin. And then we are renovating, it will be only half of the facility renovated. The upstairs, we'll start the upstairs after that. When we have the whole facility renovated, I will invite all of you guys to come and see and tour them. The ones that are open today, if you ever want to see them, just let me know and we can go and see them and you can talk with the residents and ask them questions. We try to give them a heads up because it's their home, so we don't surprise anybody. But if you guys ever want to go see them, please let us know. Usually we try to do an open house for every facility with the media and the city council and the mayor and you guys, commissioner and the judges. But usually the ones we did before was prior to clients being there or prior to residents being there. But this facility will open half of it, now, because it's ready to go, just because we have a need.
How many are there in the county right now?
In Seneca County, we have 2 women homes for recovery housing, 1 male facility for recovery housing, and we have 2 group homes for mental health individuals that are co-ed. Those are co-ed homes. Those are 24/7 supervision. We have 2 of them, 15 bed and 16 bed facility.
How full, what is the status on the housing here?
The mental health group homes are pretty full. The male recovery homes has been around 90% capacity. What was very surprising to us, the women recovery homes, they were really low capacity in the last 12 months, around 50%. So any given day, we have 6 or 7 beds open in the women facility. So that was kind of a red flag. We tried to figure out what is, why is that happening, correct? Anywhere you go in the county, everybody says there is a need for housing, is a need for helping people who struggle with drug addiction. Well, we are running 50% capacity for the last year, correct? So what is the reason? We try to make the rent really affordable, so I want everybody to know. But they're speaking up, Commissioner Frankel, correct? So they're speaking up. I think we are around 80% today,
Right.
correct? So that was where we were. Every resident that comes there is expected to work, is expected to pay rent, is expected to receive random drug tests. They have a curfew. We have some house rules they gotta follow. But through a lot of state and federal grants, we really try to make the rent really affordable. Today, the recovery homes, if the individual is low or moderate income, they pay $30 a week in rent, and that includes all utilities. I mean, you just can't find any cheaper anywhere, okay?
Yeah.
The facilities are absolutely beautiful, everything is new and renovated, and that's where we struggle is, if we make the rent that affordable, why are we still at 50% capacity? So, maybe some had to do maybe with the PV, drug recovery docket, that scaled down a little bit, maybe that had to do with that. We were looking at options, and we're gonna probably explore them in the future for mothers with children to be able to access, because I know sometimes that's a barrier, because they will say, well, I would like to come, but I need to bring my daughter with me or my son with me, and we don't have that option in Seneca County today. We do have a home like that in Ottawa County. They can take Seneca County residents. We have a home in Ottawa County that's women with children. So we're gonna try to look at that option as well.
Can you tell us about March 8th, veterans and first responders?
Yes, so I had that information in the folder. Thank you for asking. So in partnership with Hope in Fostoria, which is our prevention coalition for Seneca County, they have this event on March 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on San Francis campus. It's free to the public. We really want to focus on getting first responders and veterans there to the event. They have a lot of vendors that are gonna share the services they provide. We're gonna have free lunch for them. I heard that we're gonna have free haircuts. Not for you, Commissioner Busdecker. But it's a fun event with a lot of resources available. So our team, we hope in Fostoria finalize this flyer, so they put in my package to bring it to you guys. But we are going to promote this, and we hope to have a good turnout. A similar event will come at the end of April in Fostoria as well, in the city of Fostoria. We'll send that information out as well. I believe they are going to the local radio station to talk about it, and I believe will be something probably submitted to AT if already wasn't submitted, and on social media.
So as you're looking at, potentially with the mothers and children and stuff on that, I'm sure, with Ottawa County and, Job and Family Services, I'm sure that'd be maybe a collaboration and stuff to, work with and stuff, and as we start heading out this pike here a little bit and stuff with that, is that, I guess, how does that get in, if you're in a situation with Job and Family Services and stuff with that, I imagine you're probably involved in helping in Ottawa County with that facility there.
Okay, great question. I'm looking for my phone because I just got some notes about that. So I do want to, and I won't take much of your time, but I do want to mention that, especially for Commissioner Busdecker, because he's new in his role, I want to give a little history. So around 5-6 years ago, there was a high need for foster homes in our board district. In Sandusky County, at least we identified as a board, Sandusky County had the highest need. They were paying around $1.2 million a year, the county commissioners, just to place children out of county to foster homes because they couldn't find a placement in county. So I remember 5-6 years ago going to a meeting and asking the DGFS director in Sandusky County, well, if I want to become a foster home and I call your office today, what is the process? Just give me an idea, like what families need to do. And her answer was, well, if you call our office today, probably nobody gonna answer because we're so swamped. We can't even take the families to the process to get certified as a foster family. So we piloted a project in Sandusky County, was a partnership between the Mental Health Board and Sandusky County, where we hired a person really just to certify families and recruit families in Sandusky County. Was really successful the first year in Sandusky County, and then we expanded it to include Seneca and Wyandotte County year after that. Just last year, we actually expanded it to include Ottawa County, and I have my notes. And as you guys probably know, last year, and I'm not good with the words, but we received whatever award at the state level. You know, you guys doing great, correct? So whatever. But it's really well recognized at the state level, and they wanted to take this across the state to the point that Sandusky County today acts as the fiscal agent for the whole region, and 6 months ago, we also included Wood County, and last week, we included Hancock County. So now we are a 6-county project. But really, our goal is, the main goal was not so much to save taxpayers' dollars, which is super important, but can we keep the kids local? Or can we find and certify local foster homes? And we did that. And the second step was, can we certify and find foster treatment homes? And foster treatment homes, they have like 3 different tiers, is for children who have more challenges, I should say, correct? So foster home can just be for anybody that needs a placement, but foster treatment homes, the child might have some mental illness, might have some behavioral concern, might have some violence. So then they have 3 different tiers of foster treatment homes. As of today, when we started this project 5 years ago, we had 0 foster treatment homes, 0. That was like, we wish we can have it. Was just Cuyahoga County, Lucas County. Today, we have 13 foster treatment homes that are licensed in the collaborative. Ottawa County has 1, Sandusky County has 7, Seneca County has 1, Wood County has 1, Wyandotte County has 3.
Wow.
And we placed at those 13 homes over the last year, 25 unduplicated children. So some of them may be moved out and somebody else came in, so 25 of them. The goal is obviously to provide good care for those children, to make sure maybe they can reunify with their families. We try to keep them in the local schools, but at the same time we try to save taxpayer funds. The key element here was, prior to us having foster treatment homes locally, Children's Services had to contract with private foster treatment homes out of county, which the cost was 4 times the amount we are paying a local home. Now, if you send them to a private foster treatment home out of county, you might be looking at $385 a day for that child. The Children's Services has to pay, which comes out of your budget. If we keep them locally, we might find the same family at the same credentials, we might be paying $100 a day, okay, because the child has more needs. So the goal is to continue with this. We are looking in Sandusky County, actually, we're meeting next week, Commissioner Frankart, to look at potential of maybe even a group home for children, which is the highest cost. Our Children's Services in the 4 counties, right now they have to ship them out of county for sometimes up to $800 a day for their placement. Okay, so we are looking at that. To answer back your question, I don't think there will be a children with parents. I think it will be just children. But we are looking at that option, and if that option develops, every time we are involved, we want to make sure it serves all of our 4 counties. So whatever the location is, it will serve all of our 4 counties. I'm sorry it was a long answer.
Yeah,
No, that was good.
I did not realize you were that,
Yeah.
like I didn't realize you were that far down the that much comprehensive activity. I thought we were still talking about a few of these things, but it sounds like you're
It's good.
past that, yeah.
And
That's
even
good to
you
hear.
talk about maybe kids being out of
Yeah.
county, some of them you have to go out of state to find the right
Yeah.
too, is that? yeah,
Correct, that is correct. And the key is, and Children's Services will know more than me on this, but the key is, when you place a child
Great.
out of home, they have requirements they have to follow. So if you place somebody, and I think Seneca County had a child in the state of Georgia in the past, if you place somebody out of state, you have to go and visit them at minimum once every 30 days. So now you have to send a worker to fly to Georgia, see the child, and, come back. So the cost of their salary and their travel time is just through the roof, plus the cost you pay there. So how can we keep some of these children locally? And obviously us being able to afford it as well.
So what's the gateway to, is it Job and Family that you work with, or do you work with the courts, or both?
On this project, I mainly work with Sandusky County DGFS.
Yeah.
They are kind of the lead.
Okay.
They are the
It's a
lead.
pilot, so is they,
They are the pilot.
They're
Everybody
the
puts a little,
counties.
correct. Everybody puts a little money in,
okay,
but the workers that work specifically to these two individuals, they are hired by Sandusky County.
okay.
To do a group home, to make it successful, we gotta figure out the billing piece. If we can't bill for some of the services, we might not be able to do it. It's also a high need for respite services, which means sometimes families kind of need a break, and some of these individuals, some of these children are, struggle and are very challenging. And sometimes we try to help the family to make sure they are not being absorbed by us as the county. So how can we keep the children and families together? So sometimes providing some respite services or in-home services is really important as well. So we're looking at that as well in Sandusky County. We found a facility that we are looking at. We just try to figure out if we can make it work. We're just in a very early stages of discussion.
Well, when you say mental health, it's such a broad two words, right? I didn't realize you were in at all that. Pretty neat. The jails work with the sheriffs, schools,
Yeah,
Job and Family.
we are.
It's great.
Some of us would do a lot of mixed projects, I should say,
I
for,
see that.
for the benefit of the families and the children.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's a lightning report from you.
If you guys need more, please let me know.
Yeah.
Or if you guys have any questions, because I can pull the information.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. We take a deep breath after that.
Yeah, right.
That was pretty,
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, thank you.
thank you. All right, commissioner reports. Flip the coin.
I'll go first, mine's pretty short. I mean, we really only had about a day or so in there, and I had a couple of meetings get canceled because of the weather, so went to the tax incentive review meeting the other night, and then I hung around for the joint ambulance district meeting as well. Boy, is there a lot of stuff related to that, and I'll give you a lot of credit. I mean, you put a lot of work in on that, and all the guys that were sitting around the table, and ladies, that were sitting there have really done a lot of work on that, so that's really all I can say within one day, so.
Yeah, good.
That's it.
Okay, Bill?
So Wednesday, went over to the chamber, they had their monthly luncheon, talked about Carol Kern and they talked about, jobs and stuff and all the different avenues
I didn't
and
get
grants available for businesses to go after, for education for their employees and stuff with it. It was a well-attended event over there, and took a lot of stuff away from that, so it was good. Also went to the tax incentive review meeting. So they have kind of a three meeting that day. They have the city of Tiffin, city of Fostoria, and then the county, and they kind of go through all the businesses that have the incentives, the abatements and stuff on that, and they reapprove it every year. The one and only we have in the county is Arm & Hammer, Church and Dwight, outside Beaufort there, and they're really knocking out of the park there. They've got, they've increased 60 employees, and their growth there is phenomenal, and they do a great job there with it. And do want to mention this week is FFA week, so if you see any FFA members out and about, celebrate with them. It's a great week, so yes. So, and then I did get a request about a Bloomville quarry. They go around the county every year on Arbor Day and plant a tree, so requesting if they can put a tree up there, our Bloomville EMS building stuff on it. And
great.
if you guys are okay with that, I will proceed with that and meet with them and figure out where we'll put it at that. So that'll be on Arbor Day, so more to come.
Like it.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. I have a couple items I'd like to bring up. The first is, and you're not aware of this, but we had North Central Electric in here, and we talked about a revolving loan grant, which is 0% interest, that we were taking those funds and we built the EMS station on County Road 6. Everything's approved. We get a call, Barb gets a call from Derek that says the county commissioners we can't borrow money and sign a loan with North Central Electric. We have to have a bond. So we didn't see that coming till the end, right? But the good news is, Derek, our county prosecutor, and Brent Howard, the representative from North Central Electric, has talked with Squire, Patton and Boggs, which is a big firm in Cleveland, and they do bonding. Barb and I were on a phone call with our contact there. They have it all worked out, except we're waiting on USDA to sign off on it. So the mechanics of everything will pretty much be the same. It'll be an interest-free loan, but we'll have to put this bond, we'll have to wrap this bond around it. The guesstimated cost of the bond was $12,000 to $15,000. So I think when we're all done, if it'll all move forward, that's the part we weren't maybe anticipating. Well, I did the math in my head, $900,000 that we're gonna get, 1% is 9,000, and that's for 1 year. So I think the 12,000 or the 15,000, he said 12, so that's why I'm saying 15, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Just in case. Will be money well spent, and then we're all, county's in good standing, and nothing's gonna change. So I wanted you to know that they sent a draft over, but we really don't want to circulate it till they send us the final one. And then you guys will all get it, we can look at it, you can call Derek, you can call Barb, we can do whatever we need to do, and then at some point we'll have to act on it in the meeting. So, any questions on that? Barb? You guys
Not at
good?
this point, no.
Yeah, we don't
I
see
guess
any,
Early though.
it's fast track.
Yeah.
They would like to do it by the end of the month, so I'm bringing it up today because it's possible we'll have everything early next week and everybody
Maybe we'll
can
do
look at
next-
it.
Yeah.
And understand when we get it, North Central and Brent Howard have signed off on it, our county prosecutor will sign off on it, and the bonding company who's gonna prepare the resolution, the bond, they're really good at this. They've signed off on it. So by the time we get it, we will be asked to take action. So if any of you have any questions or you want to talk about it, I can get you the information and you guys can get more comfortable with it if you have any questions. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Second item to bring up is the regional jail study. There was a meeting on February 11th with the 3 counties. This would be Sandusky, Ottawa, and Seneca County. 3 sheriffs and 1 commissioner from each county. If you remember, we applied for a $500,000 grant. Each county put $50,000 in. Total, the grant was for $350,000. Total project was $500,000. That project has been, that grant has been completed, and a summary assessment has come out. There was another meeting on what to do in step 2. The sheriff and I would like to address the board March 6th. He could not be here, he can't be here next week, but he can be here March 6th. So on March 6th, Sheriff Stevens and I will present to you our findings, and then we're gonna ask you guys to give us some direction. We're gonna need some direction as to what we do next. And I think that's, we'll save the conversation till then. We'll have handouts and everything for you. And so I'll leave it at that. Any questions on that, on that one? You good? Okay. And we have a EMS meeting tonight. I just want the public to know that we are beginning, this is year 3, the beginning of year 3 of our countywide EMS system. We had a levy and it passed in November, am I getting the state right, 23 or 22? Passed in 22, yeah, November 22, we had the levy. So all of 23, all of 24, we're now in year 3. This year, it took 2 years to ramp up, but we have all 4 facilities up and running, 24/7. We're most of the time at full staff. The joint EMS district and the commissioners we're working to combine our financial statements and really try to track the cost, the revenue in, the payroll, the expenses, and how we're trending. So we're working really hard on operations. Cheyenne in our office has taken the lead in taking our financial statement and the joint EMS district, who pays the volunteers and they have their own statement, put that all together so that the 17 members of the board, they're all elected officials, they get a nice, as you would say, Mayor, should nice transparent view of this is what we took in, this is what we spent, and then of course Director Hafley, he puts together a really nice monthly report. So anyhow, so that's our focus this year. We meet tonight and we spent some time trying to put that together, and more to come on that as we want to get better at transparency and letting everybody know what we're doing and where the money's being spent.
What's the latest on Betsville, or when's that gonna be operational?
It's a good question. We have our building, we passed inspection on the final building permit. We have all the loose ends, pharmacy board, IT to hook up, that kind of thing. So flip a coin. I hate to say how long that's going to be. But Mayor Harrison and Lynn and Barb are working on bringing that together. I did not realize this. Tidbit for the public, I guess. You can only have one open item with the pharmacy board at a time. So we're working on New Riddle. So you can't do Betsville till you finish New Riddle, and then you can start Betsville. And so that's kind of happening, but it hasn't started yet. So then we have to notify the pharmacy board and then start that process. Because where you park the EMS vehicle matters to the pharmacy board. You know, there's drugs in there, we're gonna be moving it from here to there, and you have to have that all approved before you can move it. So the winded answer was 60, I'd say 60 days or less, yeah. But the building permit, we have a final building permit, it looks great out there. You wanna add anything to that?
The only thing I'll add to that is they did have a heating issue out there.
Oh, yeah.
So we have agreed to pay for the heating to be upgraded out there at a cost of approximately $16,000. The contractor that is doing the renovation is taking care of that for us as a change order to the building project. It went out when it got really cold, and
It was original system.
It was an original system, so I didn't feel that $16,000 was, you know, a lot of money to fix the heating out there. So I approved that to go through, and along with because that was Scott's recommendation to me, so I went with his recommendation. So
summary, recap to the public, and it may be more than this, but I'm gonna be pretty close. we had a vacant building that the village of Bettsville took on this property from Carmoose. It was called something else.
Vesuvius.
Vesuvius, thank you. And it cost $1.2 million to $1.3 million to build a new EMS facility. And we were able to obtain a grant for $150,000 to renovate this building. And we knew it wasn't going to do the whole thing, but it made a huge difference. And so the county, we'll put in probably a good $100,000 on top of that. So for $100,000, we have a really nice, really good location EMS building versus $1.3 million. And the village got the Brownfield grant to clean up, and they're gonna put their village offices in the building in the front. And Mayor Harrison's he's just saving us a lot of money. He's out there all the time. They're gonna shovel the snow, they're gonna mow the grass, and we're gonna pay him $1 a year rent. So this is turning out to be a really, really nice contribution to the system. But we're now at the point where we have to pay our share. You know, 150's been paid.
Yep.
And then all these things are kind of coming out of our commissioner capital budget. But I think we planned 100, and we discussed that, but it might bleed over that by the time we get done with,
I wouldn't think it should be much more
and
than
I think
that.
we're close to that, Bill, you know, so. yeah.
That's all IT. and
IT.
Be safe.
Be
everything's
safe,
up there.
security,
Security, and all that stuff.
everything, that is, I believe that is everything,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
Right, and we're using the same, we're bringing beds over, we're bringing all that stuff over, right, from where we're at, we're just gonna put all that in there, pharmacy, all the drugs, everything comes over. So it wasn't like Green Springs where we weren't in there, and then remember we had to buy all the drugs, and it was just a whole new
yeah.
facility, we're just moving this one, so it's gonna be a little better. Any other questions?
No,
That concludes my
it's good.
report. Over to you.
The only thing that I have today, I told you on Tuesday that I would have sales tax numbers for you. I do have sales tax that was collected in February. This would be for December receipts, December sales. The amount is $929,434.70 in sales tax collected in February, which is down over $95,000 from the previous month, and it is down $37,000 from the previous year in February. So we are down for the 2 months that we have collected in '25. Not by much, but it's still, we still are keeping an eye on sales tax, because that's where a big
That's what I
part of our
had, so
budget
they-
comes from.
Yeah, it's like trucking, you know.
So we're hoping,
You can gauge the economy by sales tax. And, just keep an eye on it. Not panicking, but
so that's all I have to report.
any other comments, commissioners? Old business? Okay, new business, sub apps.
Supplemental appropriations, I have two for the general fund. The first one is travel and expenses in the amount of $100. This is for Common Pleas 2 for Magistrate Clayson to attend a webinar, or I'm sorry, a seminar. As we went through the budget for '25, the commissioners did not give travel, so they are asking, as we get into this now, a little bit at a time for their travel expenses.
And that's probably how we're gonna do it going forward.
I believe
Just
that
that's-
is probably the
that's
best,
what's up.
best way to do this.
I agree.
Okay.
And then also from general fund, for supplies, in the amount of $724.95. This is going to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office purchased some items that were helping to move along the energy project out at the jail. And this is the reimbursement that we got from Brewer and Garrett. So I told them, go ahead and pay the bills. We'll make sure when we get that reimbursement that it goes back to the sheriff's office. And then the last ones I have are for ditch maintenance fund, supplies in the amount of $8,000, contract projects in the amount of $200,000. This is for contract work. software license and services in the amount of $500 for software updates, travel and expenses for $1,500 for training and registrations, other expense for $1,500 as well, all again for ditch maintenance. That's all I have for supplementals.
So move to accept.
Second.
Okay, one thought, can you make a note of this? The sheriff's coming in on the 6th to talk about the regional jail, but he also wants to talk about the room, what's that called?
The VAV, the virtual attorney visitation
Yeah, the
room.
virtual
Yeah.
attorney visitation room. So
Okay.
if you, make sure you put him on the agenda for those two things. You reminded me of that when you said sheriff. Okay? Roll call.
Commissioner Bustecker?
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes, thank you. Okay, back to you, Barb.
The only resolution that I have is awarding Fostoria Economic Development Corporation, or FEDC, as the grant administrator for the Project Year 25 CDBG allocation grant, and authorizing the president of Fostoria Economic Development Corporation to sign all documents related to that.
So move.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Bustecker?
Yes.
Commissioner Frankert?
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso?
Yes.
That was all I had.
That's all we
I do have
Go
a
ahead.
item of new business, so I did get a call this morning from Archie Lundsey with the Ohio EPA,
Mhm.
just kind of an update up to Attica with the derailment. So sounds like the village found the water leak, guy got that under control. 224 should be open this weekend at the latest, so
Better than
hopefully
2
by
weeks.
Friday, but Saturday should be the end game, subject to a blizzard or anything out of the ordinary happening. But
So they
that's what
found
it
the
was.
leak and
They
that's all
found a
we
leak,
know.
yeah, that's all we know, and they're fixing it, doing whatever there, so that's where, at this point, that's the latest, so.
Okay,
Yep.
good. Thanks, John Spar,
Yeah.
for the update. That was nice of you. Anything else?
Well, I gotta give Archie, he's been great communicating with us and stuff on this, as things happen, so.
You keep him in your phone. 'cause
They are-
he's a good
we-
contact.
he's-
Yeah,
yes, yes.
It's a good job there. He hit on something, but it's not. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. We'll go to public comment. Anybody want to talk? Public comment? Okay, next meeting,
Next week, Thursday.
we're back on the normal track?
Yes, we're back on normal
Unless
Thursday.
we get a level 3?
Yeah.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.